Hi folks, it is Thibaut Van Dam here with another YouTube video. And for those of you who are not familiar with my channel, I am a DIY singer-songwriter and I'm also a guitar tutor based in Southeast London. And it's been a very long time since I made a video. Gosh, I can't even remember. I think it must have been last summer, basically, when I was making my last video. And there was a lot of reasons for that. I did try making, as I always do, try making videos in the meantime, but basically I was dealing with a housing issue. I received an eviction notice in July, and then I had a hearing in March and I won, but it's a very stressful thing. So anyway, I thought today the day is nice, and the housing thing still feels sort of unresolved, to be honest, but you know, I still have somewhere to live. So I guess that's the important thing. And I thought about it, and I saw again, time and time again, people subscribing. I see people subscribe to my channel, and when I see that, it really makes me feel like people are watching my videos still. They're still interested in what it is that I do, and I attribute so much of the effort I put into this. I can't thank the people that subscribe enough for doing that, because it really does make a huge impact. It reminds me that there's more to life than just, you know, even the fundamentals, like having somewhere to live. Like, that is important, but you know, sometimes these things are causal. You know, you put too much focus on one thing, you end up getting really sucked into it, and then, you know, anyway, so much has happened since I made my last videos, and I made a video where I was reviewing a pair of headphones, the Fidelio X2HRs, so I'll post that at some point. I've been writing lots of music. I've been working on an album, which I still am not sure what I'll call it, but I have about 45, almost 50 songs for that, and I'm keep on working on that. I did release some music. I released, my last release was at Valentine's, so if you're interested in the stuff I've released, I'll put some links in the description below. I see people are watching my video tutorials, and so I got the idea today to come back to my channel and do something simple. First, just sort of explain why I've been away, make another video, thank the subscribers and the people that watch my videos, and then finally to just play a cover of a song by Cale. The song is called Everything Will Be Alright, which I realize, given everything I've just been talking about, is actually quite apt. It's a good title for, it's a good song to come back on. And I thought I'd also just throw in a tutorial, because it's not that difficult of a song. It's actually a pretty simple song. I was kind of not sure how to approach it, so what I'll do is I'll play, you know, a version of it, and you know, because it's fun, and why not? And then I'll explain kind of the chords. You can kind of see them already, but I'll just sort of go through it. And anyway, if you like this kind of content and it's interesting to you, and you want to see more stuff like this, I do appreciate people who subscribe, and people who don't subscribe. I appreciate all people. So if you're interested in stuff like this, please subscribe, or do whatever you want, I guess. And yeah. The same old hassle every night. All we do is fuss and fight. Ain't no use in talking, I might as well start walking. Walk out into the night. And you get your gun, I'll get mine. We can do it just one time. And if we live no longer, it won't get no stronger, and then we'll know who's really right. And all we do is weep and moan, and trying to build ourselves a home. And ain't Ain't no shame in trying, and ain't no use denying, and everything will be alright. Huh. I'll just admit now, I only heard that song maybe 10 minutes ago. And I was listening to it, I was like, this is a cool song. And I love JJ Cale because of his, well, so much stuff actually. Originally, it was because I just loved his approach to whispering. I realize that the whisper thing, I don't know if I'm able to do that the way he does. I like to whisper a little bit, but I really didn't know how I was going to do that. I just know that the first thing that drew me to JJ Cale was, of course, his kind of uncommon voice. And then I read a little bit more. You listen to Naturally, it's his first album. And then you listen to his second album, Really, which is what this song is from. This song is called Everything Will Be Alright on his second album. Then you listen to his third album and you're like, this has the audio fidelity of Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is so well produced. It could have been released this year and people wouldn't be assuming anything weird about it. They'd be like, this sounds modern. And that's because, of course, there's a revivalist kind of thing happening where people are trying to sound old like this. But he did it so well that it also has the fidelity of the contemporary practices of production. And then I was reading more about him, and then I was like, JJ Cale was an audio engineer. That's part of where the Tulsa sound came from. It was his approach to engineering that helped develop the sound, and I know that he engineered his own freaking guitar and just all sorts of crazy stuff. Really blows my mind. And yeah, so weirdly, JJ Cale, after the fact, I remember my mom she loves JJ Cale and was listening, and she would play Naturally all the time when I was growing up. And I always thought he was kind of cool. But then later in life, I listened to Dope Lemon and Gaston, who has he was singing like that cool kind of whispery thing. And I was like, this is really cool. And then I thought about it. I was like, this sounds like JJ Cale. And then there's another song by Devendra Banhart, who I really love, who's a contemporary artist. And the song is called Will I See You Tonight? And it's just two chords. That's it. But that same progression and also the aesthetic, the tempo and the progression. It wasn't just those two chords, it was how fast they were being played and their kind of expressiveness and all that. That was being used by JJ Cale way earlier on that album, Naturally, I think, on the Magnolia, I think is the name of the song. And when I picked up on that, I was like, whoa, what's going on? JJ Cale is coming up again and again. And oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, it really struck me. And then I'm slowly piecing together JJ Cale was present throughout a lot of popular music at the time. I mean, notwithstanding, of course, the fact that he wrote, I think, Eric Clapton's two most famous songs, After Midnight and Cocaine. And then all of these things start to fit into place. And it strikes me that JJ Cale really, well, he represents actually something that I aspire to, which is like, I'd like to be more, I don't think I want to be like the big stadium performer like Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton was the first show I ever went to, PNC Bank Arts Center, and everyone was losing their minds, you know, and it was like, that seems like overkill. So for me as a singer-songwriter now, writing my own music, I really think to myself, I don't think I'd like that. So if I start putting energy towards that, it's probably not in my interest. But to do something like what JJ Cale did, I mean, he made enough money from his royalties that he was able to, you know, he was really able to keep making music. If it wasn't for those songs that Eric Clapton kind of did covers of, if it wasn't for that, he might not have had the money to make this album or the next one or even Naturally. So that's really interesting. Anyway, enough of that. I just want to quickly explain how you play this song. It's not that difficult to play. It's easy to sort of work out if you are accustomed with bar chords. If you're not accustomed with bar chords, I have made a video series all about practical guitar and music theory. I did this thing where I explained how to play bar chords and then how to play them easier. So how to do it correctly, and then if it's difficult, you know, tips on making it easier. But if you know the bar chord, then you know how to play F. F is, I would say, the hardest bar chord. And it has to do with the tension between the nut and the nearest most part of the strings. The tension is just harder here than it is if you're farther away. And you'll notice that when you're playing guitar, you'll say, wow, that's hard. This is really a lot easier, actually. So with the F, it is the hardest bar chord, which is unfortunate because people think, oh, it's right near C and D and like all the other chords that we need. And actually with F, you think it's going to be easy. It's frickin' not. It's like a hard bar chord to play. But nonetheless, the way that the chords in this song are played include, I would say, F, F minor, and then A flat minor, A flat major, G major, G flat major or F sharp major, and then back to that F. Now the F major, something about it, da, 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 that already feels bluesy already. So it leads me to believe that this is actually meant to be a minor chord. Da, 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 da. And when you add in this kind of major third, you start to introduce its blues quality, sharpening the third. Instead of the flat third, you have this sharp third. So it's kind of like, I guess it's using like the major blues scale or something instead. I haven't really analyzed it too much, but what I will say is that these are the 4 chords, maybe 5, that you need to know how to play this song. So I would say, I'm throwing in the F minor. All you need to do that is play E minor. And to play the F major, all you need to know is how to play E major, because that's what bar chords are. You have E major, and you bar it up a semitone, now you're F major. F sharp major or G flat major, G major, and then G sharp major or A flat major. I like to think directionally when I do it. So if I'm doing this, I like to call it A flat, because this is A, flat and A flat, G, G flat, F. That's how I'm thinking about it. But I know that starts to sound really confusing. But it is alphabetical, so that helps. And then to do this, let me just explain how to play E, and then that shape is easy to move around, real nice and easy. So we start with the E shape. The E shape, when you need to play a bar chord, you're going to not incorporate the index because you need this finger available to be able to produce the bar. So we're just going to get these fingers in position, starting with our ring finger on the 2nd fret of A, the A string. So the 2nd fret is the note B, followed by our pinky on the string just below it. When I say below, I mean towards the ground. And that is the note E, right? So we have a B and we have an E. 2nd fret again, right? So that's on the D string. So Eddie, A, dynamite. So A, 2nd fret on A, dynamite, 2nd fret on D. And then we have good, G. And we're going to take our middle finger and play the 1st fret on the G string, which is the note G sharp. And that is an E major chord. Now, the beauty of the instrument of the guitar is that because of the nut and because of equal temperament, these two beautiful theoretical ideas, we are able to transpose this freely. This is a major chord, and if we keep everything proportionate and slide each of our fingers up by 1 fret, 1 fret, 1 fret, 1 fret, and then bar it, this retains its character of being a major chord, but also transposed up. So now it is not E, it is F, but everything else about it is the same. It is a major chord. To do this, the important note you have to make sure to hit is going to be your root. And in some ways, you don't have to play the full bar if you can play just that F. So in this case, you could take your index and play the 1st fret. And now we have our ring finger on the 3rd fret, pinky on the 3rd fret, below, all going down towards the floor, and then middle finger on the 2nd fret. And then that is our F. And this shape is beautiful because we can now take it, and this is the majority of the song. Now the reason we need the bar is so we can throw in that nice blue kind of thing. And what I'm doing here is I'm just plucking all the strings all together, these 4 fingers. And I am doing kind of a splay, a type of splay where I kind of am doing something like blah. I don't know. I like to play around with it. You don't really have to do one thing or the other. You can kind of, I like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hammer on. That's just an embellishment. So you can embellish however you want. You could even just do the minor. Like that, and that would also work fine. What the purpose of that 3rd is really blue. You're trying to get that blue sound in. So you can improvise that in some ways. Here is our F, and that's the majority of the song. Da, 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 da. And it's easy, right? Rhythmically speaking, it's a simple rhythm. Da, da, ba, 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 da, da. And now we're gonna take this whole shape and we're gonna move it up 1, 2, 3 frets. So we get to A flat. Na, 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 na. And we go down a semitone to the G. Back to the F. And that is the song. I know it took me like lots of different explaining of different parts to illustrate that. I hope all that makes sense though. And you'll notice that the shape doesn't change. That's why it's easier to move through. That's why bar chords are great. And that's why I think guitar is better than the piano and all sorts of other instruments. Although I know that's totally biased and also is not necessarily true. Piano has its own advantages. Like you can use 10 notes simultaneously. So you can create much more complex harmonies. But, whatever, I think it's beautiful that the instrument, the guitar can do that. Piano can't do that. And guitar can do that. And other stringed instruments can do this kind of major, 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 major. This system, which I'm using, is something called the Cage system. It's very well known throughout guitar tutors who teach it, as well as myself. I teach this to my students. And also, it is something that's well known among students. Once they learn the rudimentary shapes, C, A, G, E, and D. So that system, I've done a whole video series about the Cage system, where I explain the rudimentary shapes, so C, A, G, E, and D, and also explaining bar chords. So you combine the Cage system with bar chords, and then you've unlocked every chord on the guitar, and it will blow your mind, because you'll realize not only do you know how to play every chord, you know how to play every chord in different ways. I can play an A like this, I can play an A like this, I can play an A in the form of a C, so like maybe, well, I'd have to think about it, or like a D shape, I could do a D shape A, like I think it's this. Oh no, this, maybe, my intonation's out. But anyway, I'm going to make a fool of myself trying to do this. So I'll just leave it there and just say the song is beautiful. And I love Cale. And I'll probably make some more videos about him. And I'm going to keep listening to his music because I just think he had a really cool approach to production. It feels really good to be making another video. And thanks again to everyone that does subscribe and likes the videos. And especially the people that write comments. When people notice the amount of effort that goes into these videos, sometimes, honestly, I'll do like 50 takes of a video like this. But I feel pretty relaxed today doing this. So this is my first take, and I feel decent about it. So probably just post this, assuming that the audio worked well. I haven't set up in a while. And it's good to be back on the channel. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing. And I'll try to get another lesson out sometime soon, maybe talking about modulations or something fun like that. At this point, I have about 30 lessons in that series. So if you're interested in playing guitar and this part of the video was helpful to you, go check out that series because it's free. And, it's pretty organized. I mean, it's me just sort of talking freeform, but it was really detailed oriented. And I have notes with all that stuff. And I use diagrams that I drew and I edited it slightly. I'm not the best at editing, but that's what I did. So anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you at the next one. Ciao for now.